Profound. Angel Reese is the most unskilled basketball player in the history of basketball.
The lack of videos involving Angel Reese working on layups. Now, look, the layup issue is a real issue for Angel.
The question is whether she is really a WNBA powerhouse or whether she is just trying to boost her own stats by manipulating the system. Others make major plays, but what happens if the figures do not convey the complete story? Angel Reese's double-doubles may seem great on paper, but opponents claim they are nothing more than a stat-padding mirage. Let's take it apart. One of Reese's most significant criticisms? She isn't simply a poor shooter, she's one of the worst in the league. Her mid-range, three-point, and layup percentages are disturbingly low. Critics claim her offensive game is almost non-existent. Unlike other WNBA players who grow with time, Reese has made little to no progress since college. What about when the game is on the line? You can forget about her attempting the last shot.
Basketball, 3-4 steps ahead of everybody, has an easy layup and throws it to the girl behind her.
It's unselfish.
That's
unselfish. Come on.
That she don't want.
Even the figures don't exaggerate. It's evident that scoring isn't her forte, since she often ranks at the bottom in shooting efficiency. Just wait till you hear the criticisms leveled at her foundational skills before you judge her.
People are pulling up to games. We got celebrities coming to games, sold out arenas, like just because of one single game. And just looking at that, like, I'll take that role. I'll take the bad guy role, and I'll continue to take that on and be that for my teammates. And if I want to be that, and I know I'll go down in history, I'll look back in 20 years and be like, yeah, the reason why we watching women's basketball is not just because of one person. It's because of me too, and I want y'all to.
A professional basketball player, wouldn't you think, would make layups when given the chance? Evidently, there are cases when it isn't true. There had been footage of Reese missing open field shots that even a high school player might have easily converted. Some say the videos show that she's just having off nights, while others say it shows that she has basic skills deficiencies, and this has led to passionate arguments in the media and among the general public. It is believed by some that she is completely untalented.
I think it is a deal that is eventually going to get her benched in the WNBA. I think that will happen one.
When you watch the footage, it's hard to argue. It's sometimes hard to even look at. Layups clanking off the rim, shots that should be automatic turning into wasted possessions. Some WNBA analysts have even questioned if she was ever truly developed as a player or if her college dominance was simply due to her size advantage. And speaking of her college career,
this was Reese and Collier, like a reach in there from Reese. A little bit of a shove there from Reese, and Collier tries to shove her back but doesn't get back in time. Did that go?
In college, Reese seemed unstoppable, but was it really talent or just a physical mismatch? At LSU, she dominated smaller opponents, grabbing offensive rebounds and bullying her way to easy points. However, the WNBA is not a collegiate league. Now she's up against tougher, better opponents who won't let her get away with the same old tricks. What was the result? Her offensive productivity has dropped dramatically. Many anticipated her to evolve, to add a jump shot, to improve her post moves, but none of this has occurred. Instead, she's battling in a league where physicality alone isn't enough. Despite this, many continue to refer to her as a star. Why?
She knows that she's not a very good basketball player. That's why she spends so much time half naked and taking pictures and promoting things that have nothing to do with basketball.
Reese is often praised for her rebounding, but is she really elite, or is she just padding her stats? Some argue that her numbers are inflated by chasing uncontested rebounds and missing her own shots just to grab them again. Watch closely, and you'll notice a pattern. She's not always securing rebounds in traffic or battling for position. Instead, she racks up boards that don't necessarily impact the game. Even former players have called it out, saying that truly dominant rebounders don't just grab numbers, they make game-changing plays. And if rebounding is her only strength, that raises a bigger question: is she really as valuable as people think? Despite all of this, Reese still has a massive following, with fans defending her at every turn. Some say she just needs time, others claim she's being unfairly criticized. But the reality? She hasn't proven she belongs among the WNBA's elite. Her weaknesses are glaring, her development is stagnant, and the viral clips keep piling up.
We can say she played a great game, but rebounding, getting second chance points, yeah. But she's so limited offensively. She's on her left side, but they never let her go middle.
Eventually be a good pro.
So why does the hype continue? Is it marketing? Personality? Or is everyone just afraid to admit the truth? One thing's for sure, her game is under the microscope, and as the season goes on, the excuses will only get harder to make. On the surface, Reese's rebounding stats seem elite. She racks up double-doubles at an impressive rate, often grabbing 10-plus boards per game. But when you look closer, something doesn't add up. Critics claim that a huge chunk of her rebounds come from her own missed shots, sometimes missing multiple times in a row just to grab the board again.
On the flip side, Chicago Sky's Angel Reese found herself at the very bottom of the list, sitting at 30th, with a true shooting percentage of just 46.4%. The contrast between the two rookies,
and the footage doesn't lie. Over and over, she takes easy shots, watches them bounce off the rim, then immediately snags the rebound. Instead of finishing strong, she's padding her numbers. And this isn't just an occasional mistake, it's a pattern. But this isn't where the criticism ends. In fact, some believe it's even worse than just chasing stats. Great players thrive under pressure, making the big plays when it counts. Reese, on the other hand, seems to use missed shots as an opportunity. Instead of adjusting her form or improving her shooting efficiency, she repeatedly throws up weak attempts, knowing she can grab the rebound and boost her stats.
You can see the tweet embedded there. And Collier barks over in Reese's direction right after hitting that game.
It's a clever trick, miss, rebound, until she eventually scores. But is that really skill, or is it just exploiting the system? Even though there are people in the NBA that does it as well. When other WNBA players miss, they aim to recover and make the next shot. Reese, she turns every miss into an opportunity to pad her numbers. And yet, despite all this, some still call her an elite rebounder, but might not even be actual true. True rebounding dominance comes from battling for position, boxing out opponents, and securing boards in traffic. But Reese's rebounds? Many of them come uncontested. Instead of fighting through defenders or snatching boards over elite competition, she often collects rebounds that no one else is even attempting to grab. Watch the tape, and you'll see she's in the perfect spot, not because of skill, but because she abandons the play to chase rebound. A true elite rebounder controls the game with their presence. Reese? She's simply collecting easy numbers. And speaking of abandoning plays,
The fans, her fans, the Iowa fans, now the Indiana fans that are like, they ride for her, and I respect that.
in basketball, defense wins games. But for Reese, defense takes a backseat to stat chasing. Analysts have pointed out that she frequently leaves her assignment, allowing easy buckets, just so she can be in position for a potential rebound. Instead of locking down her opponent, she's drifting near the basket, waiting for a missed shot. This isn't just lazy, it's costly. While she's focused on padding stats, her team is suffering on the defensive end. Opponents have started to notice, exploiting her lack of defensive presence to score easy points. And if she's not even securing meaningful rebounds, what value is she really bringing? And yet, despite all this, the hype machine keeps pushing her forward. But why? There's no denying that she is a big name in women's basketball. But is she an actual game changer, or just a product of social media hype? Many fans see the highlights, the celebrations, the big numbers on the stat sheet, but few take the time to break down what's really happening on the court.
least efficient player at 5 foot and in the league, and it's baffling to me. I don't understand.
The unrivaled 3-on-3 league was supposed to be a showcase of top WNBA talent, a chance for the best of the best to compete outside the regular season. Reese was part of Team Rose, a squad that fought its way to the championship game. But when it mattered most, Reese was nowhere to be found. She missed the final 2 games, including the championship. No injury report, no official explanation, just an empty roster spot where a supposed star player should have been. And what makes this even more bizarre, she still celebrated the win, as if she had actually played. When the final buzzer sounded and Team Rose secured the championship, most players were on the court, hugging, celebrating, and soaking in the moment. Reese, take a wild guess where she was, on FaceTime. Instead of being there with her team, she dialed in like a fan watching from home. Her teammates held up the phone so she could be part of the moment, at least virtually. But let's be real, would Michael Jordan or Kobe Bryant ever FaceTime into a championship they didn't play in? The idea alone is laughable, and it wasn't just fans who noticed. People started questioning, was this about basketball, or was Reese just making sure she stayed in the headline? We all know Reese has never been shy about marketing herself. She's built a massive social media following, landed endorsement deals, and positioned herself as one of the biggest names in women's basketball. But when does self-promotion start hurting the game? Skipping a championship game to focus on outside interests sends a clear message: winning isn't the priority. While her teammates battled for the title, Reese was missing in action. No explanation, no accountability, just a phone call when the work was already done. And this isn't just about one game. It's a terrible pattern that everyone is starting to see.
She has energy, she has an attitude, she'll rebound you the basketball. Great. Nothing else.
This isn't the first time Reese's dedication to the game has been questioned. Whether it's focusing more on personal branding than team success, or making headlines for off-the-court drama, there's a growing narrative that basketball comes second. Great players put in the work. They show up when it matters. They don't just chase clout, they chase greatness. But with Reese, it seems like the goal isn't to be the best player, it's to be the most talked about. And if she's comfortable missing championship games now, what does that say about her future? She has all the tools to be a dominant force in the WNBA. But the best players don't just talk about winning, they show up and prove it. Missing big games, prioritizing personal branding, and celebrating from the sidelines isn't the mentality of a champion. Working on your skills are. At some point, the hype has to be backed up by performance. Will Reese focus on basketball and prove she belongs at the top? Or will her career be remembered for moments like this, watching the celebrations through a phone screen instead of earning them on the court? One thing's for sure, real champions don't miss their own championship game. Do you think Caitlin Clark would have missed her championship game but called from a FaceTime afterwards? Absolutely not. Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese are two of the biggest names in women's basketball right now. But let's be real, one is dominating on the court, and the other is busy chasing clout. Clark is putting up elite numbers, leading her team, and proving she's the real deal. Meanwhile, Reese is struggling offensively, yet somehow, she's still treated like a superstar. So, why is one player actually delivering while the other is just talking? Let's break it down. Basketball isn't about hype, it's about performance. And when you compare the stats, it's not even close. Caitlin Clark is averaging 19.2 points per game, 8.4 assists, and 5.7 rebounds. She's a scoring machine with elite playmaking skills, setting up teammates while still being the go-to scorer. She's efficient, smart, and lethal from beyond the arc. Now, let's look at Reese. Her offensive game? Inconsistent, inefficient, and heavily reliant on rebounds instead of actual skill. She struggles to create her own shot. Her shooting percentage is nothing special, and outside of putbacks and layups, she's got no real offensive arsenal. Yet, somehow, both of these players are talked about like they're on the same level. How? The biggest difference between these two players? One puts in the work, the other puts on a show. Clark spends hours perfecting her shot, improving her footwork, and studying the game. That's why she makes deep three-pointers look effortless and why her court vision is on another level. Reese, on the other hand, is more focused on her brand. She's got sponsorships, social media engagements, and endless self-promotion, but where's the improvement on the court? It's easy to build a following off of controversy, but when the game starts, there's no filter, no edits, no brand deals, just skill. And that's where Clark leaves Reese in the dust. And what happens when the game isn't going Reese's way? That's when the excuses start rolling in. Great players in the past always take responsibility. They work harder, adjust their game, and find ways to win. Clark doesn't make excuses, she just performs. Reese? It's always something. Whether it's claiming disrespect, playing the victim, or blaming external factors, there's always a reason why things aren't going her way. Instead of putting in the work to fix her weaknesses, she leans into drama and keeps her name in the conversation by any means necessary. But at some point, people start asking, where are the results? The media loves a good storyline, and Reese plays into it perfectly. She thrives on attention, stirring up rivalries and keeping her name trending. But when you strip all that away, what's left? Clark doesn't need viral moments. Her game speaks for itself. Whether it's no-look passes, deep threes, or controlling the pace of the game, she's proving every night that she's built for this. In the end, it's simple. One player is backing up the attention with real production, and the other is riding a wave of media hype. Clark is showing up, putting up numbers, and proving she's the future of women's basketball. Reese? She's still trying to convince people she belongs in that conversation. At some point, the game exposes the truth. And right now, it's clear, Caitlin Clark is the real deal, and Angel Reese is just playing pretend. Hype sells. That's why some athletes get endless media attention, whether they deserve it or not. The media loves a marketable star. Drama, personality, and social media presence all help boost a player's profile, sometimes more than actual talent. Reese fits the mold perfectly. She knows how to keep her name trending, and the media eats it up. But here's the problem. The more they hype her, the more they ignore players who are actually dominating the game. Meanwhile, players with better skills, stronger work ethic, and actual results don't get nearly the same coverage. The hype machine is in full effect, and Reese is at the center of it. While the media fixates on Reese, other players are outworking, outscoring, and outperforming her. But you don't see them getting the same constant headline. There are athletes with better stats, stronger fundamentals, and a real commitment to the game, yet they're overshadowed by someone who knows how to play the media better than she plays basketball. And that's the real issue here. It's not about skill, it's about marketing. Hype can only carry a player so far. Eventually, the numbers catch up, the weaknesses get exposed, and the narrative crumbles. Real basketball fans see through the media's agenda. They know who actually puts in the work and who's just along for the ride. So, when the hype fades and the game takes center stage, one question will remain: was Angel Reese really that good, or was she just the media's latest illusion? Some players dominate with skill, others dominate with headline. Angel Reese is praised as one of the biggest names in women's basketball, but when you break down her actual game, the hype starts to fall apart. She struggles to finish at the rim, her rebounding numbers might not be as impressive as they seem, and when the biggest moment arrived, she was nowhere to be found. So, is Reese really the superstar the media claims she is? Or has the hype completely outpaced her talent? The biggest reason Reese continues to be treated like a star? The media refuses to be honest about her game. Instead of critiquing her weaknesses, they promote the illusion that she's at the top of the sport. Meanwhile, actual hardworking, skilled players who deliver results are overshadowed. It's not about talent anymore. It's about who can generate the most clicks, the most reactions, and the most controversy. And Reese? She's mastered that game. The hard truth is that there shouldn't be a comparison. Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese represent two completely different paths. One built a legacy through skill, dedication, and game-changing performances. The other? Through headlines, social media, and selective marketing. At some point, the hype won't be enough. When the lights dim and the cameras fade, the truth will be clear. Was Angel Reese ever really that good, or was she just the biggest product of a broken sports media system? With that said, thanks for watching, and until next time.